In ST03, one of the biggest T codes in SAP, where you can see the total workload analysis of the system. I'm going to change the mode from administrator to expert mode. You just have to open and browse. I'm going to select the server, click OK. Make sure you follow up the response time, which I have breaked up in many parts, which I have shown you in drawing. And according to my drawing of the workload analysis, the total response time, which I have breaked into many parts as shown in the diagram, follow up seeing the T code ST03. So over here you can see the workload overview, average time per step in millisecond. So starting from dialog, the total number of dialog steps is 121 and the response time is 762.8 millisecond per step. And then you can see the number of the number of response time, which is divided into many parts. The total response time you can see in many parts, which consist of which is called as the total response time. And you can select any task and check the part of response time, and the response time of dialog is more than 3.293 seconds. Make sure 1000 millisecond is equals to 1 second. So on the screen it shows you the total response time per dialog step is 3 seconds and 293 milliseconds. You can even check for other tasks. Well, even in real time we just need to concentrate on dialog, which is more important. There you can see dialog work process, number of sequential reads is 3.293 and the rest is the parts of the total response time. ST03 is one of the biggest T codes, and it's very easy to understand if you give a lot of time and go step by step. This is the roll time. Once the dialog enters the user context, there you can see on the screen, you can just find out the parts of the roll time, which is shown in milliseconds. Showing you in seconds. Total roll wait time in seconds. S stands for seconds, which is 2 seconds. So what we are looking here is parts of the response time, and then click on all data. There you can see parts of various response time, CPU time, DB time, wait time, roll in, roll out time, load and generate time, log time. This all times when they add together and they make the total response time. The total response time, which is divided in many parts as shown on the screen. Make sure you follow up these parts of the response time according to the diagram which I have given to you guys on this day, which is the workload analysis. Follow up the diagram and then work out on ST03. In real time, we have to focus on every part of the total response time. If in case if the GUI time exceeds more than what it should be, then we have to fix the network issues can be the cause. So we have to look after every part of the total response time and check out the average response time. Moving down, you have more features. I'm going to show you the transaction profile. If you click on standard, you can see the total steps in the T code. For example, ST07, the total dialog steps were 9 and the total response time was 42 seconds, and the average response time per dialog step was 4.704 seconds. Four seconds and 704 millisecond is the response time per dialog step. Make sure the ST07 is a T code and number of steps in that T code is 9, and the total response time for 9 steps is 42 seconds and per step is 4 seconds and 704 millisecond. Moving down to T code ST03, you can see number of steps in ST03 is 24 and total response time for 24 steps is 14 seconds and average response time per step is 563 millisecond. And in ST06 you can see total steps is 10 and the total response time for 10 steps is 2 seconds and average is 206 millisecond per step. Make sure you don't get confused in total step response time and per step response time. If you need more detailed analysis, then click on the T code and click on details. And there it will show you average response time per dialog step is 4.704 millisecond and total response time for 9 steps is 42 seconds. Make sure you don't confuse yourself. Follow up that diagram which I have given to you, and accordingly you have to check all the parts of the response time. Here we can see the memory usage per transaction. In ST07 we have 9 steps, and then we have used 8.130 KB of memory. And here if you click on user profile, it shows you the number of users and the total number of job steps, which is 65, and the total response time for 65 steps is 68 seconds, and then per step is 1.49 millisecond. I mean 1 second and 49 millisecond. (1000 milliseconds makes 1 second, so make sure you don't get confused. Another T code, which is STAD, shows you the complete analysis as shown on the screen, starting from the time, the date and the server, followed by the transaction and the program with the T code. On the right side you can see the users, and you can see the response time in millisecond, and response time in work process, followed by the parts of the response time, which is also showed in STAD. In STAD you have more clear picture where you can have the complete workload analysis overview. There is another T code which is called STAT, which is similar to STAD, where you can have the track of the T codes, the server, date and time with the users, and parts of the response time. It's also showing the T code which we are logged on, which is STAD, and the response time was 3.232 seconds. Make sure you practice a lot in ST03. Looks easy, but it has more features, more functions, so make sure you spend a lot of time in ST03.